Good morning, everyone. I'm back for part 2 of my textured box top, and my box top has been dried, and on the top of the box top, I hope the lighting is good enough, you can see that there actually were a few little cracks here and there, but they're not deep cracks, they're just thin, and those will fill in somewhat with paint. And I like the look of that, so I'm not going to go in and recover those. If you don't like the look, you can just take some more of the spackling, just rub it into those cracks and let it dry again. So what I've done before I'm going to paint it is I set up the decorations that I think I want to put on top, and these all lie flat except these two do not. So all you need to do is just take a little piece of sandpaper, and then you just set that on there, and you find out where that high point is that's in the way, and it's right there. So just take a little bit of sandpaper and just sand on that before, you have to do this before you paint, until you get a flat enough spot that you're going to be able to glue down your decorations. Brush that off, and now that sits on there nice and flat. So I also have a problem on this corner with this little point right here. Brush that off. And yeah, now that will sit flat. So I have my decoration set aside, and I just want to make sure that I have all that dust off of there. Now, in order to paint this, this is going to be for my art room to hold all my extra little flower bits when I'm making flowers, and so I want it to match the other decorations that I had made. So I'm using red brick, brown, and chocolate brown. And I just have an extra brown there because one is almost empty. So all I do is I just take my colors, and I just put them on there like this. Whoop, right on my mat. Brush that on there. And I do like to do it all at the same time because I like those colors to mix. And these are the same colors that I used in everything else, in the same way that I did it. So they should all look fairly the same. Now you just have to go in where those pearls are and cover them up. Make sure you get down in those grooves. And when you're all done, you usually do have to go back in and, catch a few little white spots that you missed here and there, where the different grooves are in the spackle and along the beads. And I can hear my dogs chasing the cat. It's always, if mom's busy, you can do things you're not supposed to do. There we go. I'm just going to flip that up. I hope I'm getting this in shot. But I'm supposed to be decorating for Christmas right now. But I decided to play in the art room instead. I had to get my tags done for my tag exchange, and then I didn't want to quit. So I know it's been a while since I've had a chance to get in here, so I didn't have a chance to come in and show you the end of this. Okay, now you just want to make sure this is the side I started on. It has a lot of extra paint, so I want to get that paint out of there. Just wipe my brush off a bit. going to go between all of the beads a little bit to make sure there's not too much of a pool there, or it'll dry that way and they won't be very distinct. Whoops, I almost dropped it. And there we go, that's the top. Now I'll let this dry, and after this dries, put the embellishments on it. Now the one thing about the embellishments is, I'll put that in there, they're not the right color. I need them to be more of a coppery, or more of a bronzy color, coppery color. Copper, I guess. They are bronze. And so, I like that maroon color in it too, because that's part of my decorations. Well, if I can get it open, I am just going to go in. And for some reason, I bought a whole set of these that does not have a name on them. So I don't know what colors I'm using. A maroon, and a medium brown, and this is latte. This one does have a name on it. And just put those on there. Oops. And it's really the maroon, even though it looks really red right now. We'll get a little more brown in there. The maroon is really what gives it the color that I want it to have. There. Those are much darker than they were, and they have more of the glow that I want them to have. And I lost this little diamond off of this one, so I'll just glue it on later when it's all dry, which with the alcohol inks it doesn't take very long. Now the one thing that I wanted to show you is the way that I did the box itself. I don't want the box or the top decorated very much because it's going to go on a shelf. So, but the one thing I wanted is I wanted the front of the box to be decorated where it slides into the shelf, and this is what you'll see. I had made this little planter with flowers in it, and I wanted that to go on the front of the box. And what I did was I stuck it on the front of the box while this was wet. And I let it sit there for probably about 5 minutes or so, 10 minutes, and let this set up a little bit. And then I peeled it off. But that gave me the spot where I know that this is going to fit in, and I don't have to worry if it's right in there just like a puzzle. I don't have to worry about bumps and sanding and all of that kind of stuff. But I didn't want that on there because I need to paint this brown. So after I paint the box brown, I'll go in and I'll glue this right into that spot. It fits right in there perfectly. And I did gesso the box first, just very, very lightly, because this box was covered with paper. And if you put the paint on it the way that I do, especially very heavy like that, the paper will start to bubble and peel off. So a really thin layer of gesso should make that so that it doesn't happen. You even have to make the gesso thin because otherwise it will make the paper bubble. But this should now make the paper nice and solid. And I'm going to paint this brown just like I did all the rest, just like I did the top. And then glue this on, and I will come back and show you what the whole thing looks like when it's finished. But you just play with it, do it however you want to. And then the one thing I did want to show you was this actually looks like a little planter that would be like on the side of an old Grecian building or something. I don't know. But anyways, it was a Christmas bell. And it's a thin plastic, And what I did was I just found the seam, and I used my heavy-duty scissors, and I just cut along that seam, and now I have this beautiful little planter box. I used styrofoam, just made a piece of styrofoam here to fit inside, a little bit of moss, and painted that brown so that you wouldn't see the white through here. And then each of these flowers are just made and then dyed with my alcohol inks. I have a little ribbon rose that I made, and then this was just made out of a larger flower that I put together and made smaller. And this flower was stamped before I made it. And then this was just like it is, except that I put my glitter sprays on it. So, and then I made some leaves to go in there, and that's what's going to go on the side of my box. And then I'll know that that box is the box with all of my flower pieces in it, because I take flowers that you just buy at the dollar store or at a garage sale, just the ugly old silk flowers, and I cut them into pieces, take them apart, take all the plastic pieces off, spray them, put them together with different layers from different flowers even, and they turn out looking really pretty. I just haven't figured out how to do the lace roses and the lace flowers very well yet, so this is the way that I've always done my altered flowers, is just alter silk flowers and make them look the way I want them to look. So thank you very much for watching, and as soon as I get it done, hopefully I might get it done today if I don't put my Christmas decorations up. We'll see. I will come back and I'll show you what it looks like all completed. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate your interest, and have an outstanding day.